is the Founders Federal High School Football Scoreboard on the Sports Talk Media Network. Coming up, scores and reports from across the state and analysis from David Shelton. The Scoreboard is brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now your host for the High School Scoreboard, Phil Kornblut.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Founders Federal High School Football Scoreboard on this big Friday night across South Carolina. Championship games for SCISA. And we have third-round games for high school league teams on a night when it got a little bit chilly out there. Kind of felt like playoff football time. Always an exciting time of the year. It's that time of the year when coaches, of course, want to win games and then make sure that they are practicing on Thanksgiving Day. That means they're moving on to upper and lower state championship games next Friday. Let's, before we do anything else, because we don't want to hold anybody up, Brandon Alter is waiting. No, he's not. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought we had Brandon from down there at C.E. Murray with Brian Smith. They were winners tonight. We'll get to him in just a moment. We'll have David Shelton with us here in a little bit, and we'll get reports from folks across the state. We're going to try and talk to coaches as well, the winning coaches, about their victories tonight. But let's give you what we've got. First in 5A, Lower State, Dutch Fork make it 61 straight unbeaten for the Silver Foxes. They beat Sumter on the road tonight, 49-21. That sets up the game we've been looking for since August. Dutch Fork and Fort Dorchester next week down in Charleston. Fort D defeats Lexington tonight 30-8. So Dutch Fork wins over Sumter 49-21 and Fort Dorchester over Lexington 30-8. Meantime, in the upper state, Gaffney and Northwestern was leading 10-0. They have gone to overtime. 10-10, Gaffney and Northwestern. Let me check my sources here on Twitter to see if any final score has popped up. It was 10-10 going into overtime, and I don't see anything new just yet as far as any further updates. So we'll let you know as soon as we know something on that. But what a ball game between those two rivals in the upstate. You kind of figured it was going to be close all night long between those two, and that has been the case. Let's go, and nothing in yet that we've seen on Spartanburg and Ridgeview. I'm sure there's a score floating around out there somewhere. Let me double check again very quickly before we move on. As I speak, we have a score. What a ball game. Spartanburg 32, Ridgeview 29. Spartanburg knocks off Ridgeview 32-29. And so the Vikings move to the upper state finals against either Gaffney or Northwestern. How big is that going to be? I tell you what, you couldn't ask for a better Final Four in terms of the statewide interest. Spartanburg against either Gaffney or Northwestern, and Fort Dorchester against Dutch Fork. Going to be huge next Friday night. All right, in the 4A playoffs. In the upper state, South Point has defeated Greenwood 30-20. So congratulations to Coach Holloman at South Point, the former Gamecock star linebacker, getting it done with the Stallions. Play either Greenville or Irmo next week, and have not seen a score yet on that one. Let me double check. Well, as I look, I just see a score. Greenville has defeated Irmo 42-23. Greenville 42, Irmo 23. So the big offensive team from Greenville getting it done tonight with Pro Franklin and Demazio Bennett and Josh Sapp, the talent on that offensive team. Greenville wins at 42-23. So it's Greenville and South Point for the upper state 4A title next week. Lower state, Beaufort beat Myrtle Beach 20-19. Following Ian Garrett on his Twitter, apparently Myrtle Beach scored late, went for two, and failed. And Beaufort wins it 20-19. Meantime, West Florence knocked off Hartsville tonight 31-21. So you've got Beaufort and West Florence going at it next week. 3A upper state, Chester, a winner over Powdersville, 35-18. And Daniel, no trouble tonight with Clinton, 52-7. Lions win it big. Lions and Cyclones next week. In the lower state, Dillon, a winner over Oceanside, 35-10, playing in Dillon. So the Wildcats flexing the muscles and showing that they are still a prominent program even through the coaching change. And so they advance. They'll play either Camden or Brooklyn Casey in the lower state final. And we're waiting on a final score on that one. I don't think we've seen one come through yet, so we'll let you know as soon as that is updated. We go to the 2A playoffs. It's Gray Collegiate. Gray Collegiate beat Abbeville tonight in Columbia, 31-15. Biggest win in Gray Collegiate's history, I'd have to say. They win at 31-15 over the powerhouse from Abbeville. And they will play Newberry in the upper state finals next week. Phil Strickland extends his coaching career by another game. He does not want to walk away just yet. Newberry was a winner over Christ Church 26-24. So Newberry, the Bulldogs win at 26-24 over Christ Church, and they'll play Gray Collegiate next week in the lower state. Silver Bluff, they're really, really good. They beat Cheraw 56-14, and Barnwell knocked off Philip Simmons, the newcomer to the party, 42-27. We've got an old-fashioned 1980s, 1990s lower state final in 2A between Silver Bluff and Barnwell. How many times over the years have these two teams crossed paths in the playoffs at a critical time? We've got it again coming up next week. In the 1A playoffs, Lamar beat Ridge Spring Monetta 36-16, and we're waiting on a Southside Christian Calhoun County score. Let me check while I'm talking to see if that has come in. I saw something posted by the high school league, but I don't think it could be a correct score. They posted Calhoun County 6 and Southside Christian 2. I don't know if that would be correct because Southside Christian has such a dynamite offense. I can't believe that they would be held to 2 points. So waiting to get an update on that, waiting to see if we can get a final score for you. Oh, here it is. We've got it. Southside Christian, it was 28. They left off the 8. Southside Christian 28 and Calhoun County 6. So the defending champions, they move on 28-6 over Calhoun County, and they will play Lamar next week. In the lower state, C.E. Murray all over Whale Branch tonight. Big win, 47-0. And Bamberg Earhart knocked off Baptist Hill 33-6. So it'll be Bamberg Earhart and C.E. Murray for the lower state title next week. In Skeeza, congratulations to the Hammond Skyhawks. They win the championship for like the 25th time in a row. Exaggeration there, but they've won it a lot. Doesn't matter whether it's Eric Kimry or whoever coaching that team. Talent. They beat Trinity Collegiate 48-15. I understand that Williamsburg Academy. No. Do we have a score on that yet? No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of something else. So that's the one Skeeza score we've got in at this point. The other game being played tonight was Holly Hill Academy and Andrew Jackson Academy in 8-man. Tomorrow at Charleston Southern, you've got Hilton Head Christian against Williamsburg Academy in 2A, and in 1A, Lee Academy against Thomas Hayward. All right, so you're up to date for now. And let's see, where are we going to go first? Let's go to we've got David standing by. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we've got a coach with a reporter standing by. So let's go to Brandon Alter. He is with Brian Smith, coach at C.E. Murray, and they had a great win tonight. Welcome, Brandon. How are you?
I'm good, Phil. How are you?
We're great. Tell us about your game.
Well, I'm standing, like you mentioned, I'm standing here with Brian Smith, and I think he should tell the story on his team's big win.
Hey, Coach.
Go ahead, Coach.
Hey, long time no see.
It was good seeing you this morning. I brought you some good karma.
That's right. Good karma. And we had a great night here, closing out our last game of the season at home, and most likely the last game ever to be played here. And the guys played phenomenal. We won 47-0 over a very good Whale Branch team. And I'm proud of the guys and the way they showed out tonight.
Wow. Obviously, defense. Well, you had it both ways, offense and defense. But anytime you get a shutout, I always have to look first at the defense because shutouts are so hard to get.
Right. So defense played lights out. Actually had 2 defensive touchdowns tonight. So I can't be more proud of those guys. They definitely gave it their all.
What about your offense? Who stood out over there?
Normal cast of characters, Malachi Rouse, Tyree Prunes, Quintarius Grant. They all had about, a touchdown or 2 touchdowns apiece. Henry Evans also opened up the scoring with I believe it was a 70-yard, 76-yard touchdown reception. So, we had a pretty good night overall offensively as well.
And how do you like the matchup next week? Lower state final with Bamberg Earhart.
Well, we figured this was going to be the matchup since last year. Last year that we lost to them on the last play of the game. Had a 4-quarter battle with Bamberg last year at Bamberg, and we look forward to another one.
I bet it'll be a good one. You mentioned maybe the last game. What is going on for those of us who don't know with your school and consolidation in that area?
Well, we're not allowed to speak on that, but we'll see what happens. We don't know for sure what's going to happen. But like I said, this could have very well be the last game we've had here.
All right, sir. Hey, congratulations once again. Good luck next week. We'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Brandon Alter. Brandon writing for the Williamsburg newspaper, Williamsburg County, King Street newspaper, and part of the Post and Courier. So thank you, Brandon. Great job. And thank you, Coach, for joining us. Let's go quickly because we have another coach standing by. It's Billy Baker, who was at the 8-man championship game tonight. I was actually watching some of that on the stream. And, Billy, I don't know how it ended up, so fill us in on who ended up claiming the championship.
Well, Phil, Holly Hill Academy has now won 26 games in a row under Michael Nelson, who's never lost a football game. He's a graduate of Sumter High School where he was an outstanding baseball player. Tonight, Andrew Jackson Academy had 5 turnovers. That was a key to their loss tonight. And Michael Nelson is in my car. It is 42 degrees at Calhoun Academy. And I'm going to let him tell you the game. Tyler Wright, another outstanding player. Monty Lee at Clemson will probably end up getting this young man. He runs a 6'5", 60 in baseball. He's a center field. He's a natural athlete. Tonight he had about 120 yards on 14 carries. Caused a fumble and then recovered the fumble. Really heads-up player, about 5'11", 175. Just a junior, but I think he's going to play baseball up at Clemson is my gut feeling. Holly Hill had no turnovers tonight. That was the key. But how about this? A guy that actually never played high school football, but he's an outstanding baseball coach. Is here before me. 26 wins in a row, 28-24 over AJA. I want Michael Nelson to tell you, no turnovers in a state championship game. Michael Nelson, tell Phil how you did it. Here he is, Michael Nelson.
Thank you. Thank you, Billy.
Hey, Phil, you hear me?
Yes, sir, Coach. Congratulations. Another championship. How'd you do it? Billy said ask you how you did it.
Yeah, we just battled to the end. We forced 5 turnovers. We didn't have any turnovers ourselves. We did give up 2 onside kicks to them, one at the very last with 14 seconds left. But they were able to hang on for a 28-24 win. Tyler Wright had 17 carries for like 110 yards, and he plays every snap, offense and defense. Oh, my God, just about play every snap. He forced a turnover, had 8 tackles. Marion Breland also had about 60 yards rushing. He had 16 tackles. His brother, Perrin Breland, had 14 tackles, 2 forced turnovers. We forced 5 turnovers. That was the difference in the game. And our staff and our kids worked so hard, and it's unbelievable winning this many in a row. But we just avoid complacency and stay hungry. And I'm just so proud of the staff and so proud of these players.
That's got to be hard to do, even for you. I mean, you've never lost a game coaching there. As Billy said, how does the coaching staff stay hungry?
Yeah, it feels good to win. So if I don't ever have to lose, that'd be great. I know it's coming one day. But we just work hard. We work hard. We study film, and we execute our game plan every week. So we're just going to keep that formula working and until we got to change it. So my staff's awesome, and my kids are even better. So big family at Holly Hill Academy. I'm so proud of them.
Well, congratulations. Always fun to take home the trophy. That's what it's all about. Enjoy your holiday, and congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bill.
Thank you. Yeah, Billy.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Billy. Thank you. All right, Billy Baker, High School Sports Report, along with Holly Hill coach Michael Nelson, 28-24. And we'll give you another score before we hit the break. In 5A, Gaffney beats Northwestern 16-13. Can't wait to talk about the Final Four in 5A with David Shelton when we come back and get more reports. So you got Spartanburg, 32-29 over Ridgeview. They win by a field goal. Gaffney, 16-13 over Northwestern. They win by a field goal. And so next week, it happens again. Spartanburg, Gaffney. How many tickets could they sell for that? We'll be back to talk to David Shelton, continue with reports and more in a moment.
Save like a pro with Founders Federal Credit Union. Founders Loyalty Select account gives you the opportunity to grow your savings at our best rate yet. Fund your account through your favorite Loyalty Select product to get savings today. Not a member yet? Visit relaxjoinfounders.com or one of our more than 30 office locations to see if you qualify for membership. Services require credit evaluation. Terms and conditions apply. Founders Federal Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA.
In Columbia, South Carolina, game days are our specialty. Whether you're watching the game from inside the stadium or from the big screen at your favorite local spot, the energy remains the same. Craft the perfect fall Saturday in a city where there is plenty of action on and off the field. From tubing and kayaking to Soda City to rooftop restaurants and plenty barbecue. We're ready when you are. Plan your weekend at experiencecolumbiasc.com.
COVID-19 booster shots are now available for those 65 and older, long-term care residents, and those 18 and older with underlying medical conditions or at high risk. See if you're eligible at scdhec.gov/COVID-19 booster. Keep fighting the spread. Wear your face mask. Stay 6 feet apart. And get vaccinated. Join us and fight the spread. Visit scdhec.gov/vaxfax.
Hi, this is Phil Kornblut, and for me, high school football Friday nights in the Palmetto State are electric, and I want to know how all the teams in the state are doing. For that, I turn to scfootballstats.com. I've used scfootballstats.com for years as a resource, so I have all the scores and schedules right at my fingertips. And so can you. Never hunt for scores, standings, or rankings again. scfootballstats.com delivers weekly updates right to your inbox. Everything from your favorite teams, including Skeeza, all in one place. Fan subscriptions are just $25 for a full season of access. Head over to scfootballstats.com right now for a free trial. That's scfootballstats.com. Well, if you can't get excited over what has happened tonight in high school football in South Carolina, you don't have a pulse. Welcome in David Shelton, High School Sports Report, Charleston Post and Courier, best in business. All right. What about the matchups we got next week in 5A? Spartanburg, Gaffney, Dutch Fork, and Fort Dorchester. You got to love it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only team that's in it that probably people didn't pick was Spartanburg. But Mark Hodge has done a great job. And, I felt like they would win tonight. I didn't know if they'd get this far, but I felt like they'd win tonight. And, and obviously Northwestern and Gaffney play to the wire. You know, Northwestern led that game 10-0 for a long time tonight. Probably, I know, deep into the third quarter. But Gaffney found a way, just as they've been doing all year, and won a big game. And I heard you say earlier there'll be a lot of people in that game next week, buddy.
Who's hosting? Do you know off the top of your head?
No, I don't know off the top of my head. I didn't look that far.
Yeah. I don't want to guess because with the brackets, you got to take a close look. But, man, I tell you what, they could move that thing to what's the bigger stadium around there? Furman over in Greenville. That's 20,000. I bet you they could sell 20,000 tickets easily for that game.
Yeah, I would imagine the Gaffney people will be very excited. I don't know the situation at Spartanburg in terms of how they've been supporting their team. I would imagine as the team got better and better and better, they probably have stepped up in their support. But, you know, I would guess an easy 10,000 would definitely would be the crowd next week.
All right, David, hang loose. We got some reporters standing by. Want to get to them. Appreciate all the guys that have called in throughout the season, including tonight. Garrett Mitchell, the story on Silver Bluff and Sherrall. And Silver Bluff takes down the Braves tonight, Garrett, and must have been pretty impressive in doing so.
I tell you what, Phil, it really was. And as I promised last week, I said you weren't quite rid of me just yet, even though my Wolverines from Winterfeld and Daniel. But I had to. I'm a football junkie, so I had to find a game to go to somewhere. So I made my way down to Sherrall with a group of buddies tonight. And it really started out. I've seen Silver Bluff play this year, and they're such a solid football team. But it was a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type of start to this ball game for Silver Bluff. Trayvon Dunbar, the sensational sophomore running back who's been so good this year with over 1,600 yards. Second play of the ball game, he breaks right through a nice blocking up front by the big Silver Bluff O-line. 75 yards, he takes it to the house, and you think, okay, the Bulldogs are off and running. But then here comes Sherrall right back at them. Sherrall's got two good running backs, so they had success on the ground early. And you couple that with a few uncharacteristic mistakes from Silver Bluff, and Sherrall put two scores on the board very quickly. And so the Braves went up 14-7. And then it was really just a game of attrition. The remainder of the first half, Silver Bluff was able to scratch out a score late before halftime. You go into the break, it was tied. And when you came out in the third quarter, the Silver Bluff fans sitting in the stands, you know, the talk was, what will Coach D'Angelo Bryant do to right the half? What adjustments would he make? And it really was coming out in the second half. It was like a tsunami, and once it just started rolling in, the waves just inundated Sherrall. Silver Bluff outscored the Braves 42-0 in the second half, and did it in a myriad ways, Phil. And it was offensively, defensively, special teams. You had a pick six from a great defensive back. That was number 5, the junior, I believe, Ricardo Jones Jr. And then you had a scoop and score from Jordan Boyd, the sophomore defensive end. Dunbar added 260 on the ground and 4 scores. And it simply was a game that got away late. Silver Bluff flexed their muscles. 56-14 was the final. And it's back to Petticoat Junction and Jackson for the rematch with the Barnwell Warhorses next week for the lower state title.
Garrett, thank you so much. Make your way back over there next week and be sure to join us on the program next week.
Well, that's certainly the plan. I think I'm going to make the trip back down to Aiken County, and it should be a great ball game between the Warhorses and the Bulldogs.
We thank you, sir. We appreciate that. We're going to get to George Adams after the break because time is so short. But quickly, David, I mentioned earlier we got something that back in, 80s and 90s and maybe into the new century, Silver Bluff and Barnwell seemed like they crossed paths almost every year late in the playoffs.
Yeah, this is another one. You talk about the Spartanburg Gaffney crowd. That stadium won't hold enough.
Yeah.
Barnwell and Silver Bluff next week. That is a old time traditional rivalry. I mean, I think I've probably seen over the last 32 years, I've probably seen 6 or 7 of those games, and they never fail to disappoint. And I tell you, Silver Bluff is the real deal. Barnwell's going to have to play very well to beat them. I know Silver Bluff beat them earlier in the year, but they're the real deal.
Yeah, I'm excited. I am pumped about these matchups next week. Things are just setting up great. All right, hang on. We'll get to more reports, more from David Shelton, try and track down some coaches as well. We're back after the break.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi. Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. Violence continues to grow in Colorado. 3 more people have been shot and wounded near a high school in the Denver suburb of Aurora. Shooting comes just 4 days after 6 other students from a nearby high school were shot and wounded Monday. A judge has convicted a white Kansas City police officer of involuntary manslaughter in the fatal shooting of a black man in a case where prosecutors say police planted evidence. Judge Dale Young's issuing the verdict against Officer Eric J. DeValknier in the death of Cameron Lamb. The judge presided over a bench trial instead of a jury trial at the officer's request. Kyle Rittenhouse acquitted on all charges in Kenosha, Wisconsin. This is SRN News.
Right. Now, who could that be?
It's Dominion Energy. I signed us up for a home energy checkup. It's time we learn how to save energy and money.
Well, how much does it cost?
Not a dime. It's free, and it only takes about an hour. Plus, we get a report on things we can do to make our home more energy efficient.
I don't know. Sounds too good to be true.
No. See for yourself at DominionEnergySC.com.
Where?
DominionEnergySC.com.
Certain restrictions apply.
Your biggest fear when calling for services on your AC or heat at the house is getting ripped off. Unfortunately, it does happen. It won't with Sweet Comfort Services. Jeremy and his team take pride in offering free, no obligation estimates. He encourages you to compare Sweet's prices versus others. They're dependable and local. Online, it's sweethvac.com or call Sweet's Comfort Services HVAC at 803-331-8143. Your biggest fear when calling for services on your AC or heat at the house is getting ripped off. Unfortunately, it does happen. It won't with Sweet Comfort Services. Jeremy and his team take pride in offering free, no obligation estimates. He encourages you to compare Sweet's prices versus others. They're dependable and local. Online, it's sweethvac.com or call Sweet's Comfort Services HVAC at 803-331-8143.
There's something special about a lasting relationship. You know, I started off as a customer of Stone Interiors almost 15 years ago. Well, that relationship grew, and they've been a partner now of the Point since we launched more than 8 years ago. Relationships matter. People matter. Local matters. Stone Interiors is all about being local, all about customer service, and all about building a great relationship with their customers. I'm proud to call the folks over there my friends. That's all well and good. But what about their granite? What about their marble? What about their craftsmanship? I know all about this as their customer. It is elite. They're the best at what they do. They have the largest selection of granite anywhere to choose from. They have the top team to do the installation. So if you've been considering new countertops, a kitchen backsplash, that bathroom remodel, or even an amazing outdoor kitchen, treat yourself right. Call Stone Interiors. Nobody does it better. You'll brag about them the same way I do. Check out their website, stoneinteriors.com, or give them a call, 461-8950. That's 461-8950. Remember, relationships matter. I know you'll enjoy working with Stone Interiors.
Have you fallen behind on your taxes and might be facing IRS penalties? Have wage garnishments, levies, or liens? Have unfiled tax returns? You want someone local and qualified. Don't fall for those national spots. Meet with me, Teresa, at Capital City Professional Services, and let me help you through your tax maze. I can help with all your tax resolution issues. There are options to get you back on track. Call Capital City Professional Services, 400-8683. That's 400-8683.
Welcome back, everybody. Founders Federal High School Football Scoreboard across South Carolina on this beautiful Friday night. What a night for high school football. If you're just joining us, let me take you through the final scores. Everything is in. All precincts reporting. In 5A Upper State, Spartanburg 32, Ridgeview 29. Lower State, Gaffney 16. Upper State, Gaffney 16, Northwestern 13. Lower State, Dutch Fork 49, Sumter 21, Fort Dorchester 30, Lexington 8. In 4A, Upper State, Greenville 42, Irmo 23, South Point 30, Greenwood 20. Lower States, Beaufort 20, Myrtle Beach 19, West Florence 31, Hartsville 21. 3A Upper States, Chester 35, Powdersville 18, Daniel 52, Clinton 7. Lower State, Camden 27, Brooklyn Casey 24, Dillon 35, Oceanside Collegiate 10. 2A Upper State, Gray Collegiate 31, Abbeville 15, Newberry 26, Christchurch 24. Lower State, Silver Bluff 56, Cheraw 14, Barnwell 42, Philip Simmons 27. 1A, Southside Christian 28, Calhoun County 6, Lamar 36, Ridge Spring Monetta 16. That was Upper State. Lower State, C.E. Murray 47, Well Branch nothing, Bamberg Earhart 33, Baptist Hill 6. And Skeeza championship games 3A, Hammond 48, Trinity Collegiate 16, and 8-man Holly Hill Academy 28, Andrew Jackson Academy 24. Phil Kornblut, Pat Daniel here in Columbia. David Shelton joining us from the Low Country. More from David coming up, but a bunch of folks have been waiting to give us reports from their games. So, George Adams, who is the play-by-play voice, venerable veteran play-by-play voice of the Cheraw Braves, his side of the coin of that loss to Silver Bluff tonight. George, tough night for the old Bravos. Silver Bluff just too good.
Phil, let me ask you a couple of questions. We've known each other for a long time, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
I feel a chastising about to take place.
Well, you made me sit through the Silver Bluff side of the game, and I mean, you know, have a little mercy. Have a little mercy on an old man.
Well, in case you missed anything in the game, I thought you needed to relive it.
Oh, I'd like to miss everything about the game. That's for sure. All the scoring in the first half, in the first quarter, you had 4 touchdowns all in the first quarter. Halftime is 14-14, and Silver Bluff second half. I mean, what can you say? 7 touchdowns. Braves never really got anything going. Terrible field position. Some of it their own fault. They scored every way you possibly can except for a safety. You had a 95-yard interception return, a scoop and score of 28 yards, and here's the worst part. Well, not the worst part, but something about it. 56-14 the final. It was Cheraw coach Andy Poole's birthday today. And I don't think there are any lit candles on his cake because I think Silver Bluff blew them all out, literally and figuratively, in the second half.
It sounds like it.
Oh, golly bum. Longest second half of my life. But Silver Bluff's the real deal. Travion Dunbar, as Garrett said, like 260 yards. He is the real deal, just a sophomore. And the Braves end up the season 8-4. So, you know, respectable season. And we'll just try to reload for next year.
How's it look? How much you got coming back?
We are going to take a big hit across the offensive line because they're all seniors.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's hard to replace that experience.
No question. Well, we thank you for the reports all season long, and I hope you have a great offseason. Take care of yourself, and we'll do it again starting next August.
The only good thing about the ball game was Silver Bluff is coached by D'Angelo Bryant, who was a running back at Wake Forest. And so far as tomorrow's game, go Deeks.
Okay, George. Thank you, man. Take care.
All right. You the same.
Thank you. All right, there you go. The other side of the coin from George Adams on the Sherrod defeat at the hands of Silver Bluff. One of the big games in the state tonight, and we knew it was going to be a great game going in because no one beats Abbeville, and they don't. When they do beat them, it's usually right down to the wire. The Gray Collegiate, they're a cut above. Chris Deering on hand for that game in Columbia tonight between the up-and-comers Gray Collegiate and the legendary Abbeville Panthers. And Chris, Gray Collegiate, the new king, Upper State. Well, they still have one more to go, but when you slay the master there in Abbeville, you can crow a little bit, at least for a day.
Yeah, and Gray is probably crowing a little bit. They got knocked out of the playoffs the last 2 years by Abbeville, and they actually took control from the beginning tonight and won. Beat the Abbeville team that's really good. They forced 3 turnovers, which is very uncharacteristic of an Abbeville team, and 2 of those turnovers came in the red zone, so kept Abbeville out of the end zone there. And then you can sum this game up in just really one way, and that's the rushing attack of Gray Collegiate. KZ Adams, 322 yards on 38 carries, I think it was, 3 touchdowns. The kid had an interception on defense. And then quarterback Trey Robinson ran for 118 yards and added a 62-yard touchdown run. Just a great all-around performance on the ground by Gray Collegiate tonight.
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe the in-state big schools are not looking at KZ Adams, who's committed to Georgia State. He's just been great all season long. 322 yards tonight.
Yeah, he's been great for 4 years, Phil. And I don't understand him not getting the looks from the in-state schools. People probably could talk about his size a little bit, but he is a great football player. I got a couple of highlights where you see him just stick his foot in the ground and make a cut and make a move, and that's just big-time football player right there. And he did it over and over tonight. And again, the kid never came off the field. Defense, special teams, he played every snap, and you don't see that these days, and that's just a testament to the type of kid he is.
What did Gray do defensively to hold Abbeville to 15? They must have done a good job against that running game.
Yeah, they were very physical. I think Abbeville coach Nichols, after the game, he said that he just thought that Gray was a little bit more physical than they were. And, one of the turnovers, they were inside the 5, and there's the linebacker for Gray Collegiate, Zach Flynn, came in with a big hit, caused a fumble, and Gray was able to recover that one and prevent a touchdown. So just real physical. They were really, the defensive line's really good. Their linebackers are fast and get to the football. The defense for Gray don't get a lot of attention because the offense is so good with KZ Adams in that crowd, but that defense is pretty good to hold Abbeville to 15 points.
They play Newberry next week. Who hosts?
That'll be Gray Collegiate. They'll play at Fairfield Central again. It's a rematch. Like you said earlier in the show, Phil Strickland still extending his career. These are region opponents. Gray won the first meeting pretty easily, but these kids at Newberry seem to be really inspired playing for Coach Strickland's final season.
You said at Fairfield Central. Is that where they played tonight?
Yes, that's where they played tonight. Gray plays their home games at Midland Sports Complex, and that does not meet the seating requirements for the high school league once you get this far in the playoffs. So they had to find somewhere to play. So they played at Fairfield Central tonight.
Wow. Okay, maybe Gray should think about building a stadium.
That might be a good plan, yeah.
Take it up with the boss man over there. Okay, sir. Hey, thank you very much. Great job as always. Look forward to hearing from you next week. Have a great Turkey Day.
You do the same, sir.
Thank you. Chris Deering, part of the Prep Red Zone group, and does a great job covering the high school scene. We appreciate him being with us and giving us that update on the Gray Collegiate win over Abbeville. Abbeville, the longtime king. Long live the king, but there's going to be a new king this year, whether it be Gray Collegiate or Newberry or Silver Bluff or Barnwell in 2A. Let's go to Monty Dutton. Monty was on hand for Daniel and Clinton tonight in the 3A playoffs. Clinton's had a very good year, very special year, but they ran into a buzzsaw tonight. Monty up at Daniel. Lions win it big, 52-7.
Hey, how are you doing, Phil?
Good, Monty.
Clinton scored on a touchdown pass with 4 minutes and 40 seconds to play. Davis Wilson to Wilson Wages. And that enabled the Red Devils to pull to within 45 of Daniel.
Okay.
But it was Trent Pierman threw 4 touchdown passes, I believe. I think the backup had 2 more. They had 1 touchdown in which they Pierman fumbled and it went in the end zone and another guy jumped on it. So this is the point of the night where if you're from Clinton, you have to say, well, 11-2 isn't bad. But Daniel's a fine game. They exploited everything about Clinton. They shut Clinton's running game down. They're just a vastly superior team. And there's 2 things I want to say. Number one interesting aspect of the game was that Jeff Brewster, the coach at Daniel, played in college at PC for Tommy Spangler. And so that was Tommy Spangler has been coaching, volunteer coaching at Clinton, their defense all year, and was an important part of Clinton's season.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second thing is that Corey Fountain made absolutely no mistakes. Made no excuses. He said that this showed how much better they have to get. This was a good test for him, and that his seniors have come a long way. But this game, that he says, this shows we got to go back tomorrow because this shows how much better we have to get. So.
Yeah, for sure. Look, Daniel's having a great year, and they got some talent, and Pierman's a fantastic quarterback. What did he show you tonight from the times you got a chance to kind of focus on him?
Well, he's not. He's not a really tall quarterback. He actually reminds me, and he's has much better numbers, but he reminds me of Lawrence's James Raw because they're both sort of maybe just a little bit over 6 feet and stocky. But like many times, he's very much of a system quarterback, and they do a lot of kicks and cutting back short, and they bust a lot of short plays in the long plays, and they also throw it long. They had at least 2 long touchdown passes, but it was more that they were short where the guys made a lot of yards after the ball. But Daniel is a fine team, and they quite obviously they are they really know what they're doing on offense, and they really knew how to. Pass defense has been a strength of Clinton this year, and they absolutely riddled it.
Yeah. Monty, we thank you so much for your coverage all season long. Great having you part of the Scoreboard, and rest up a little bit or maybe go cover some basketball, and we'll be back with you next football season.
I don't even have a college game to cover tomorrow. I'm planning on getting more than 3 hours sleep tonight. So, it's not all entirely bad.
I know, man. Enjoy. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you soon.
Take care, Phil. Good talking to you all year.
Thank you. The great Monty Dutton. If you ever want to check out Monty's, is it Facebook? MontyDutton.com, I think it is, or Monty Dutton on Facebook. He'll sing you a song. He'll talk NASCAR with you. Furman football, Furman sports, and, of course, high school, Clinton, anything there. Oh, yeah, great stuff. All right, thank you, Monty. Yeah, Daniel just too good tonight, 52-7 over Clinton. All right, good run of calls there from guys covering games. We got more coming up. David Shelton, of course, will be along again to break down these games and talk about matches next week, and going to catch up with some coaches, we hope, as well. So we'll continue here on the High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union, in just a moment.
Relax on and off the field with Founders Federal Credit Union. With services like Founders Online and the Founders app, you'll enjoy all the perks of a big bank with local personalized service. If you're looking for low rates, look to Founders. Not a member? Joining Founders Federal Credit Union is easy. Visit relaxjoinfounders.com or one of our more than 30 office locations to see if you qualify for membership. Services require credit evaluation. Terms and conditions apply. Founders Federal Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA.
Parents ask, what's the best way to save for college? I'm State Treasurer Curtis Loftus, and my answer is always open a Future Scholar 529 college savings account. It's easy. You can get started online with any amount. It's flexible to adapt to your child's college dreams. And you can deduct 100% of your contributions from the South Carolina state tax return. So what are you waiting for? Go to futurescholar.com and see why it's the smart, easy way to save for college. futurescholar.com.
Hi, this is Phil Kornblut, and for me, high school football Friday nights in the Palmetto State are electric. And I want to know how all the teams in the state are doing. For that, I turn to scfootballstats.com. I've used scfootballstats.com for years as a resource, so I have all the scores and schedules right at my fingertips. And so can you. Never hunt for scores, standings, or rankings again. scfootballstats.com delivers weekly updates right to your inbox. Everything from your favorite teams, including Skeeza, all in one place. Fan subscriptions are just $25 for a full season of access. Head over to scfootballstats.com right now for a free trial. That's scfootballstats.com.
I learned that people are just looking for somebody to listen to them. You can't just start cutting somebody's hair and you're going to be quiet the whole time because you're not going to be in business long.
The South Carolina Education Lottery has provided over $800 million to help students attend technical colleges across our state, investing in a new generation of entrepreneurs, just like James. Your passion is our purpose.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
All right, you're listening to South Carolina's only and longest running and best high school football scoreboard every Friday night from August into December. We're with you right up until championship week. In fact, we'll be there over at Benedict. Championship games Thursday, Friday. Be right there with the show with Sports Talk. Looking forward to that. Let's get back to reporters in the field tonight. Myrtle Beach had a fantastic battle tonight. Myrtle Beach and Beaufort, 20-19, the final score. Let's welcome in Lane Harris, the voice of Myrtle Beach, and get the story on how the Seahawks came up close following the tweets of Ian Guerin tonight. It looked like to me it must have come down to a two-point conversion there at the end, Lane.
You are correct. Adam Randall scored on a 1-yard touchdown run with 1:07 to go in the ball game. And after a flurry of timeouts, Mickey Wilson was lining up for the two-point conversion. Actually, at first we were going to kick the extra point to tie the game. Beaufort jumped off sides. We got the ball at the 1.5-yard line. Mickey Wilson comes out in his Florida package. I don't know if you know what a Florida package is, but the whole offensive line goes out to a wide receiver position, and there's one receiver behind the offensive line. There's one center, who in this case was Jake Doty, and two receivers on the far side of the field. We try to stretch the defense out, confuse the defense. Their coach took his second timeout. We came back out after the timeout and lined up again, and we lined up in the same package. He called another timeout. And then we came out after that timeout and we lined up in the Florida package. We were trying to run the option with our quarterback Ryan Berger and Adam Randall, but the Eagles had that flushed out, and Berger had to run through the back of the backfield through a couple of tacklers and tried to shot put the ball into the end zone to an open receiver, but didn't get anything on the pass, and the Eagles were able to knock the ball down, and with 1:07 to go, that was the extra point that would have won the game, but unfortunately it's going to lead to a loss for the 9-2 Seahawks. The number 1 ranked team in 4A football is going to be sitting at home for the playoffs this season. And the unique thing about this, Phil, is special teams let the Seahawks down tonight.
In what way?
Well, the first touchdown of the game was on a Hunter Rast 68-yard punt return with 1:27 to go in the first quarter. The PAT was no good, and that gave the Eagles a 6-0 lead. Seahawks responded with their own touchdown pass on the first play of the second quarter from Berger to Kenny Brown on an 18-yard touchdown pass, and our PAT was blocked, so it was 6-6. Adam Randall added a 15-yard touchdown run after he intercepted the ball with 10 minutes to go, and he came out, and we got the PAT was good for a 13-6 halftime lead. Buford got the ball out in the second half, and they punted the ball down to the 9-yard line. They held us on 3 downs, and then we got the ball out to midfield, had to punt the ball away, and the punt was low snap to our center, from the center, and the punter got off a short kick. No, he got off a good kick, and guess who? Hunter Rast catches the punt. We think he gets tackled at about the 45-yard line, but he spins off a defender, gets up, runs all the way down inside the 20-yard line on a 50-yard punt return, and that led to an Amari Morris 7-yard touchdown run with 4:25 to go in the third quarter to tie the game at 13-13. And then late in the game, we had a low snap from center, a short punt, gave them the ball at the 23-yard line, and McLeod Reichel had only one catch on the night, and it was a 6-yard touchdown catch with 4:19 to go to give them a 20-13 lead after the PAT was good. And then we drove down the field, got all the way down inside the 20-yard line, and 2 consecutive personal foul penalties on the Buford Eagles on out-of-bounds hits. The second one, a vicious helmet-to-helmet hit from a Buford defender on quarterback Ryan Berger as he had given himself up to go out of bounds, gives the ball to the Seahawks down inside the 10-yard line. Adam Randall eventually runs it in for the touchdown with 1:07, and then we just couldn't make the 2-point conversion to win it. So if we don't have these 3 bad special teams plays, Jason Owens' defense did a great job of shutting down this Eagle offense.
Wow. What a ball game. It's always a stunner when Myrtle Beach goes down before it gets to the finals, either state finals or the upper lower state part of the playoffs. So tough loss, I'm sure, but another great year. I mean, they put another great year on top of their record, and I'm sure they'll be back strong next year. Who stands to be the quarterback next year?
Probably a young kid named Wyatt Cannon, a 5'11", 165-pound junior who quarterbacked the JV team. And he had a pretty good year coming off the bench and some late season mop-up action for us. But you're looking at a defense that's going to lose 10 seniors and an offense that's going to lose 4 seniors, 2 on the offensive line, plus Adam Randall and Ryan Berger, a 3-year quarterback. So it's going to be a tough rebuilding process for the Myrtle Beach Seahawks. But if anybody can do it, Mickey Wilson can.
Absolutely. Lane, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you during the Touchstone Energy Bowl week. And we always appreciate you being on the scoreboard throughout the season. Look forward to doing it again next year.
As always, my pleasure, Phil. Y'all have a good night.
And thank you. Have a good broadcast tomorrow with the Coastal Carolina folks as well.
Will do.
All right, sir. Thank you. All right, Lane Harris, story on Myrtle Beach going down at the end against Buford. Congratulations to the Eagles, whose head coach is a buddy of our own Pat Daniel. So he's proud of that, aren't you, Pat?
Yeah, Bryce, pumped for him. And only his second year as head coach, making it all the way up there. Couldn't be happier.
All right. We'll get more reports. We've got Lou Bezjak standing by to give us a story on Hammond's championship win tonight. That's coming up.
From 7 to 9 on The Point, it's Kev and Brian in the morning. The news, the times an hour, and your daily forecast. Topics to wake you up, topics to make you smile and laugh. Hope you'll join us.
The Point. The Point.
WQXL Columbia, W264DM.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jason Walker. Defense attorney Mark Richards says Kyle Rittenhouse was cleared because he did indeed act in self-defense.
As he said when he testified, he did not start this. And we're thankful in more ways than one that the jury finally got to hear the true story.
Richards adding that the young man says he wants to become a registered nurse, but right now he just wants to remain anonymous.
He's on his way home. He wants to get on with his life. He has a huge sense of relief for what the jury did to him today. He wishes none of this would have ever happened.
A judge in Kansas City has convicted a white police officer of involuntary manslaughter in the fatal shooting of a black man. Judge, though, presided over a bench trial instead of a jury trial at the request of the officer. Also at townhall.com, House Democrats passing their mammoth social spending and climate bill.
The House voted 220 to 213 to approve President Biden's massive social spending plan, also known as the Build Back Better Act. The bill will now go to the Senate for consideration. The vote came half a day later than scheduled, a delay caused by House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, who commandeered the floor Thursday night for more than 8 hours with a rambling speech protesting legislation he warned would send the country into an economic tailspin. Representative Jared Golden, a Democratic centrist from Maine, was the only lawmaker to cross the aisle, joining every Republican in opposing the bill. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
A new study just released says pregnant women who have COVID-19 face increased chances of having a stillborn baby when compared with women who are not infected. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The Democratic sweep officially in place, we are now at the mercy of tax and spend economics. Get ready for runaway national debt pushing the further devaluation of the dollar. So if you haven't invested in gold, now is the time to protect your savings. Birch Gold Group is the premier precious metals IRA company in America. With an A+ BBB rating and thousands of satisfied customers, Birch Gold can help you move an eligible IRA or 401k into an IRA backed by gold. Go to birchgold.com/radio for your free information kit. That's birchgold.com/radio.
Now you can get generic Viagra shipped to your door for about $2 a pill. Get the same impact for less. Call Steelman Pills now and get the same blue pill for about $2 a pill. Call now for the 50-pill special and save even more. Plus, get a free bonus.
800-605-1683. 800-605-1683. 800-605-1683. That's 800-605-1683.
A very rare first printing of the U.S. Constitution has sold at auction for an eye-popping amount of money.
It's one of only 13 known copies of the first printing of the Constitution and one of only 2 in private hands. It sold Thursday night at Sotheby's in New York for, ready? $43.2 million. We don't know who bought it. The buyer is remaining anonymous. Sotheby's calls the auction a monumental and historic occasion. A spokesman saying the auction result reflects how relevant the Constitution remains, not only in America, he says, but for global democracy. I'm Rita Foley.
Japan approving a record 56 trillion yen, that's about $490 billion, for a stimulus package, including cash handouts as well as aid to a number of businesses. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com.
WQXL Columbia, W264DM.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end. The good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives and restore sight and health for many more. Sign up right now online as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. You'll be happy you did. And just maybe someone else will be happy too. Go to OregonDonor.gov. It saves lives. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
Ooh, you shouldn't have pressed that button. Oh. Now you get this.
This is the Founders Federal High School Football Scoreboard on the Sports Talk Media Network. Coming up, scores and reports from across the state and analysis from David Shelton. The Scoreboard is brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now your host for the High School Scoreboard, Phil Kornblut.
Welcome back in, everybody. Hour number 2 of the High School Football Scoreboard on this big Friday night for high school football in South Carolina. Go back over the scores with you again here in just a little bit. David Shelton will break it down as far as analyzing things and looking ahead to next week as we get to the upper and lower state championships. Skeeza had 2 championship games tonight. They'll have 2 tomorrow at Charleston Southern. We're also going to try and chat with some winning coaches. Lou Bezjak from the State newspaper and thestate.com joins us now. And Lou was on hand for one of those Skeeza State Championship games tonight. Hammond and Trinity Collegiate. Skyhawks win it 48-15. Lou, thank you for joining us. I don't know. I took a guess earlier that this was like the 75th state championship in a row for Hammond, but I'm probably off just a little bit.
Close. Seems like that. It was actually their 5th in a row. I think 13th since 2006. But the first for John Wheeler, obviously, who took over for Eric Kimmery, and just it was a ball game for a half. They were down 15-14 at halftime, but they really got things going. Dylan Richardson really opened things up, passing the ball in the second half, threw for 3 touchdowns in the second half, finished with 6 total touchdowns. He also ran for 3, and they were able to pour it on. They stopped Trinity's running game. Reggie Bennett got stopped in the second half, and then Trinity played the game without most of the game without Trey McLeod, who's also a 1,000-yard rusher. He hurt his hamstring on the first possession and just couldn't go back in. So that was a big loss. And but Hammond did a great job. Richardson was a good story. He took over the quarterback job midway through the year when injury to Jack Weston, and really did well. Never played quarterback before, and he came up big, and because Trinity tried to stop C.J. Stokes, and they did for the most part. He scored a touchdown late, but Richardson was able to beat him in the air, passing the ball in the second half.
Coach Wheeler comes in following the uber successful Eric Kimmery. Did he do things basically along the same lines as Kimmery, or did he change things up to fit his eye better?
I think it was kind of the same thing, a little bit culture-wise in that, but I think a little bit changed it. I think they ran the ball a little bit more than usual, but I think, it's a little different voice. I think they approach things a little bit different. They both have calm demeanor, very, very calm. You rarely saw Wheeler get fired up. And Kimmery too. They approach things. They're very cerebral in their thought process, and it's Wheeler like Kimmery treats it like a college type program, and just really had them going. And it's good to see him. It was kind of funny watching them celebrate and ask him questions. Do we got to go do this? Not being in having to be in that position for a celebration, where to be and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. But good way for the seniors to cap it off, and I think they were trying to prove, though, that they could win one without Kimmery, and they were able to do that tonight.
Yeah, we've seen different opponents in 3A over the years try and knock off Hammond, and I think the last one to beat him in the championship was, correct me, First Baptist. Am I right?
Ben Lippin. Ben
Lippin, yeah. Do you see anyone? I don't know what Hammond's got coming back next year. You would certainly know, but I mean, are they going to be in a position to dominate again next year? Is there anybody else rising up in the 3A ranks that can knock them off?
Well, I think Trinity's going to be there for a while. I think what Coach Amell has done, taking that from a Class A program at one time, now they're 3A. They're getting some good athletes. They're losing a lot, but I think Trinity, maybe Augusta Christian could be. I know it's kind of a down year for Lawrence Manning, so maybe they'll be back. But we'll see. I think Trinity's going to be the biggest threat in the next few years for sure.
All right. Quick recruiting question. You ever find out, hear anything tonight on what Antonio Williams is going to do tomorrow as far as a visit? I never could find out.
I messages mom today and never heard back. Well, we'll see. I know there's a couple Auburn writers were there. I don't know if any Auburn coaches were there. I know Auburn coaches were at the Camden PC game to see Xavier McLeod. So I'm not sure what he's going to do. I think Georgia, Clemson, and USC were the options, or they could just stay home for the weekend and get ready for the lower state and then his trip to Auburn next week.
Yeah, we'll find out if he shows up somewhere tomorrow. I'm sure a camera will find him. Lou, thank you. And everybody can read your stuff, great stuff, in the state.com. Thank you very much, sir.
Appreciate it, Phil.
You take care. Good thing I'm a subscriber to both the state and the state.com, David. So I get to read it current, state.com, but then it'll be in the newspaper 2 days from now. I get to read it again. So if I miss anything online, I do get the actual paper, and it carries news that's about 2 days old, and I'll be able to read it again.
That's kind of the way the newspaper business is nowadays, buddy.
Well, the state doesn't publish on Saturday anymore. So
I know, I know, and it's kind of weird. You read about Friday night football games on Sunday.
Yeah.
But it is definitely different than when back when I started, when we were writing with quill and scrolls, and we had no printers and all that kind of stuff, no computers. Boy, things have really changed.
Well, in my mind, news is news if it's the first time you've heard it, whether it's 2 days old to everybody else. And for me, like traveling so much, I miss a lot of stuff while I'm gone. I come back, I pick up the newspaper. It might be a Monday paper, but it's got stuff from Friday and Saturday in there, so I can catch up on things that way. So I try to turn it into a positive, for my money.
Absolutely.
Try to turn it into a positive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Glass half full kind of guy.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. All right. Good to have David back with us. Let's go through and Pat, feel free to dial up coaches now that, we've got the list of some coaches we want to try and reach. Let's get David's thoughts on these things. So 5A tonight, David, once again, Spartanburg over Ridgeview, 32-29. Gaffney beats Northwestern, 16-13. Dutch Fork over Sumter, 49-21. And Fort Dorchester tops Lexington, 30-8. So very, very competitive, tight games in the upstate and, more of a separation in the lower state.
Yeah, but I think that's what we kind of expected. I mean, I thought Lexington would have a hard time running the football on Fort Dorchester. I thought Sumter would have a hard time scoring to keep up with Dutch Fork, and that's pretty much what happened. I think most people thought the upper state games would be a lot more competitive, and they were.
All right, let's go to the 4A bracket. And in 4A, in fact, I'll just run through all the scores here once again, and Pat's going to line up a coach for us. In 4A, Greenville over Irmo, 42-23, and South Point defeats Greenwood 30-20 in the upper state. In the lower state, Beaufort 20, Myrtle Beach 19, and West Florence 31, Hartsville 21. In the 3A playoffs, upper state, Chester 35, Powdersville 18, and Daniel 52, Clinton 7. In the lower state, Camden 27, Brooklyn Casey 24. Great ball game there. And Dillon defeats Oceanside 35-10. In the 2A playoffs, upper state, Gray Collegiate 31, Abbeville 15, Newberry 26, Christchurch 24. In the lower state, Silver Bluff 56, Cheraw 14, and Barnwell 42, Philip Simmons 27. In the 1A playoffs, upper state, Lamar 36, Ridge Spring Monetta 16, Southside Christian 28, Calhoun County 6. In the lower state, C.E. Murray 47, Well Branch nothing, and Bamberg Earhart 33, Baptist Hill 6. And Skeeza, you just heard from Lou, Hammond over Trinity Collegiate 48-15 for the 3A championship. And in the 8-man championship game, Holly Hill Academy 28, Andrew Jackson Academy 24. Let's welcome Coach Bruce Lybrand from Buford High School.
Bryce.
I'm sorry, what did I say?
Bruce.
I can't read. Bryce Lybrand. Coach, you don't mind if I call you Bryce or Bruce, as long as I call you winner, right?
Well, that's right. You can call me about anything tonight, and I'll be okay.
Bryce Lybrand, relatively new coach at Buford High School, probably got the biggest win of his young career tonight as Buford takes down Myrtle Beach, and that is hard to do in Myrtle Beach. Final score of 20-19, came right down to the end, a 2-point conversion, and you guys managed to defend that. First of all, congratulations, and just your thoughts on getting this huge road win at this stage of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a big win for us. You know, our kids played really well. Our coaching staff did a great job of getting playing together, and you know, it's hard. And, we kind of talked with them about it that, you know, when you get to this part of the playoffs, you're going to play somebody that's good, and obviously Myrtle Beach has kind of been one of the gold standards in 4A for a long time. So, you know, if you want to have a chance to win a state championship, you're probably going to have to beat somebody like Myrtle Beach. So it's a really big win for us, and we're awfully excited.
We had Lane Harris on a few minutes ago, play-by-play voice of Myrtle Beach, and he was describing the formation that they went out in for the 2-point conversion and how you called timeout twice. First of all, had you seen that before? Did you know they had that? And then secondly, what did you talk about with your players during the timeouts?
Well, we saw it just because it's the water bucket that people line up in for field goals. So, you know, we had seen it, not necessarily from them, and you know, our defense coordinator Rob Garl does a great job, and you know, so we called a timeout, and, you know, and then just kind of when they lined up in it again, we called another timeout so we'd get it. You know, they had a kid that their running back was hurt, and he was over with the offensive line to the left, and so, you know, we knew they probably weren't going to throw it over there to him, and so we felt like, you know, it's probably going to be somewhere, you know, middle to the right, and you know, so Rob did a really good job of getting our guys in the right spot, and you know, fortunately we were able to come out with a stop there.
All right, somebody I'm sure you know from your days in Charleston, David Shelton is with us. David, you have a question for the coach?
Yeah, Bryce, first, congratulations, a huge win. But I'm just interested to know how your kids approached the whole week, and did you feel that they were confident? Because a lot of people have a lot of, you know, they don't win at Myrtle Beach.
Right.
One, it's beating Myrtle Beach and then winning at Myrtle Beach. But you told me kind of earlier this year that these kids kind of have a different mentality. Like they don't really care who they're playing or where they're playing. They just want to play.
Yeah, you know, they were really locked in, and that's one good thing about playing somebody like Myrtle Beach is, you know, as a coach, if you can't get them ready to play in that game, you're not very good. So, but there wasn't any rah-rah speeches or anything with them, you know, early in the week to try to get them to focus. They you know, we played that game last year, and I think that for our players and our coaching staff, I think we kind of had to feel it out, and we had to see that we could play with Myrtle Beach. And so when we came into this game, I think all our kids and our coaches knew that we could play with Myrtle Beach. And, you know, we were kind of tested in the fire against those teams like Benedictine, you know, out of Georgia early in the year. And so, you know, we've got a confident bunch that, you know, if we play the way we're capable of playing, you know, we're a really good football team. And so, you know, before the game, I just challenged them to, you know, our thing was just don't back down. You know, just whatever you do, good things are going to happen tonight, bad things are going to happen tonight. Just don't back down and keep swinging. And they did that. And fortunately, we were able to come out with a win.
The matchup next week with West Florence, how much do you know about them at this point?
Well, you know, we played them last year in the first round of the playoffs. So, you know, we have some idea of kind of what they do a little bit, but those teams a little different. We've seen them on film because, you know, with South Florence and Myrtle Beach. So, you know, we've seen them a little bit, you know, Jody's a great football coach. Kids are always coached up and they're always physical and fly around. So, it'll be a really good one. So, we're excited for the opportunity. We're glad we get to play at home, and hopefully, we have a bunch of people there to watch that game, the day after Thanksgiving.
No, it's going to be a dandy. And look, you're practicing on Thanksgiving. I'm sure when practice started back in late July, early August, you told the kids that's the goal. Let's be working at least through Thanksgiving.
That's right. We told the kids tonight, there's not many people that get to practice on Thanksgiving, and been fortunate enough to practice on Thanksgiving as a player and as a coach, and I'm excited to get to do it with this group. They've just been awesome all year, and they're a great group of kids. So we're excited about the opportunity.
Bryce, we thank you very much. Congratulations. Good luck next week. We'll talk to you again.
Yes, sir.
Bryce Lightbrand, coach at Buford in his second year and doing a great job, David. I tell you, hadn't thought that much about Buford through this whole thing, but here they are.
Well, I tell you what, if they succeed in winning the lower state title and they beat West Florence, they can go ahead and claim the region 6-4A championship as well, because they will have beaten South Florence, West Florence, and Myrtle Beach, all from one region.
Yeah.
So, you not only get to go to the state finals, but you get to become region champions. I don't think Myrtle Beach will give them that trophy, but and nor do they want it. They want the big one, and that's going to be a good matchup next week.
Oh yeah. What a great job that he has done there in a short time. Was at Providence in Charlotte, working for Devontae Holloman when he left to go to South Point. Guess he must have headed over to Buford.
He went to Buford when Holloman went to Buford.
Gotcha.
He was an assistant with Holloman. Yeah, and then Holloman left and went to South Point, and they promoted Bryce. But Bryce has worked at Fort Dorchester for LaPrade, and really has starting to develop a reputation as a relatively young head football coach, and this is only going to enhance his resume. Some of these big jobs start opening up. I think you're going to start hearing his name more and more.
All right. Hang on, David. Got to hit a break. Back on the high school scoreboard.
In Columbia, South Carolina, game days are our specialty. Whether you're watching the game from inside the stadium or from the big screen at your favorite local spot, the energy remains the same. Craft the perfect fall Saturday in a city where there is plenty of action on and off the field. From tubing and kayaking to Soda City to rooftop restaurants and plenty barbecue. We're ready when you are. Plan your weekend at experiencecolumbiasc.com.
Relax on and off the field with Founders Federal Credit Union. With services like Founders Online and the Founders app, you'll enjoy all the perks of a big bank with local personalized service. If you're looking for low rates, look to Founders. Not a member? Joining Founders Federal Credit Union is easy. Visit relaxjoinfounders.com or one of our more than 30 office locations to see if you qualify for membership. Services require credit evaluation. Terms and conditions apply. Founders Federal Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, this is Phil Kornblut, and for me, high school football Friday nights in the Palmetto State are electric. I want to know how all the teams in the state are doing. For that, I turn to scfootballstats.com. I've used scfootballstats.com for years as a resource, so I have all the scores and schedules right at my fingertips. And so can you. Never hunt for scores, standings, or rankings again. scfootballstats.com delivers weekly updates right to your inbox. Everything from your favorite teams, including Skeeza, all in one place. Fan subscriptions are just $25 for a full season of access. Head over to scfootballstats.com right now for a free trial. That's scfootballstats.com.
Every day, you make choices that protect your family. At Farm Bureau Insurance, we're here to help make some of those choices easier. Your local Farm Bureau insurance agent is on hand to provide the reassurance and protection you need. Call today for your free no-obligation review for auto, home, and life insurance that's custom-tailored just for you.
Call Buddy Bridges in Lawrence County at 864-923-2174, covering Lawrence, Clinton, Joanna, and the shores of Lake Greenwood.
South Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Southern Farm Bureau Casualty Insurance Company, Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi.
Back we are on the high school football scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. What a night it's been. And we kind of knew this. We kind of knew when we got to this stage that the competition was going to be very good. We were going to see some very close ball games. I mean, and of course, you got some that were not so close, but as you take a look around the state, like we mentioned in 5A, you had the pair of 3-point games there, very, very tight. In 4A, 10-point game between South Point and Greenwood, 1-point game between Beaufort and Myrtle Beach, 10-point game between West Florence and Hartsville. In 3A, not real competitive in the upstate. Chester and Daniel won pretty comfortably. Lower state, Camden by 3 over BC. And, of course, Dillon was a big winner over Oceanside. And then in 2A, you had a tight ball game between Newberry and Christ Church. That was a 2-point game. And then in 1A, we had now they weren't all that close in 1A. So kind of a mixed bag. Some tight ones, some one-sided, but we did have some very good ones, and we're happy for that. Always good to have some tight games to talk about, including that Gray Collegiate win over Abbeville, 31-15, and it was tighter than that final score indicated. Gray Collegiate put them away late, and a great win for Gray Collegiate. They had to play that game at Fairfield Central, but knocking off Abbeville is not an easy task. And Gray Collegiate coach Adam Holmes joining us here on the high school football scoreboard. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Really excited about our win and our guys. Just the way they played tonight. Incredible effort. Beat a very good Abbeville team. I mean, they've been tops at 2A for a long time, and Coach Nichols and those guys do an amazing job. So just proud of our guys' effort to just kind of take that next step in our journey of our program.
I tell you what, I know your running back had over 300 yards tonight, but to hold Abbeville to 15 points, your defense had to do a whale of a job.
Yeah, Phil, they did an amazing job. I think that's our biggest difference this year and years past. Offense, we've always been able to kind of produce points, but this year's defense has just been amazing. Coach Howie Bear, our defensive coordinator, who I've been with for 13 years, has done an amazing job. Our front seven is led of a bunch of seniors, Jakias Hilton, Savian Jones, Dayton Williams, Alec Johnson, linebacker Zach Glenn, Torrey Kelly. Just those guys have just get after it. Caused 3 turnovers as well. 2 fumbles, and KZ also had an interception there at the end to seal it. So just amazing effort by everybody tonight.
David Shelton is with us. David, you have a question for the coach?
Yeah, Adam, and he's very well deserving of all the notoriety, and I think he should get Mr. Football with talking about KZ Adams, of course, but you just kind of touched on as much your offense gets so much publicity and credit. You roll up such big numbers, but this defense has been kind of like if you ask the avid high school fan, even great collegiate fans, they probably couldn't name the guys that you just named on your defense. They've just quietly just been really good all year, but the offense kind of takes over the publicity.
Yeah, they do, but those guys have just, like I said, worked extremely hard. A lot of those guys are seniors. A lot of those guys are 4-year guys. When I talk about, Jakias Hilton at the defensive end, he's been a 4-year guy. Zach Glenn's been a 4-year guy. Torrey Kelly's been there 3 years and started for us. They're a bunch of guys that just, rally to the football. We get 11 hands to the ball. Like I said, that front seven has just been the biggest difference. We got guys like KZ at corner and Devin Johnson, who also plays both ways. Just a lot of selfless guys that'll do whatever it takes to win football games, and they put the performance out there tonight.
Coach,
Coach, you beat.
Go ahead, David.
You beat Newberry during the regular season. I think it was a fairly one-sided game, but what do you expect from them? I mean, those guys are playing for Coach Strickland right now, so they're playing with a lot of emotion.
Hey, let me jump in real quick, Coach. If you'll hang on, we have to hit a hard break here, which means we have to go to it. So if you'll give you a couple of minutes to think about that answer so you can get it politically correct. And we'll come back to you if you can hang on.
That sounds great.
Okay, hang on. Thank you. David, you hang on, and we'll continue with Coach Holmes from Gray Collegiate and more coming up here on the High School Scoreboard.
At the time of Lewis and Clark's historic journey, North America's grizzly bear population may have numbered 100,000. But as the West was tamed, grizzlies were killed relentlessly, and much of their habitat was lost to development. Today, only about 1,600 grizzlies remain in the lower 48 states, and they are fighting for survival. The Vital Ground Foundation is a non-profit organization working to ensure the future of grizzly bears through the protection and restoration of crucial wildlife habitat. Vital Ground's dedication to conserving grizzly habitat goes well beyond saving a single species. When the land is wild enough for the grizzly, all other animals and plants in the ecosystem, including ourselves, benefit as well. It is said, where the grizzly can walk, the earth is healthy and whole. I'm Chris Morgan, bear ecologist and host of the PBS Nature series, Bears of the Last Frontier. To learn how you can help, please visit vitalground.org. That's vitalground.org.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. House approving the Democrat Social and Environment Bill, a victory for President Biden. Republicans sharply opposed the measure, but Democrats prevailed after months of disputes over its size and scope. Legislation now moves to the Senate, where it faces a major uphill battle. A judge has convicted a white Kansas City police officer of involuntary manslaughter in the fatal shooting of a black man in a case where prosecutors said police planted evidence. The judge issued that verdict against the officer in a bench trial instead of a jury trial, as the officer had requested. In Aurora, Colorado, 3 more people have been shot and wounded near a high school. That follows a shooting earlier in the week when 6 students were shot in a drive-by shooting. This is SRN News.
Right.
Oh man, storm's coming. I need to be prepared. Where's my phone? Oh, there it is. All right, here's the Dominion Energy app with Face ID, and I am ready to go. That's right, folks. If those South Carolina storms hit, the new Dominion Energy mobile app is a must-have. So easy to use and convenient to have around. It's not just for power outages. With this app, you have instant access to all of your energy usage, too. Pretty cool stuff. Take it from me. Be prepared this season and download it today. There's something special about a lasting relationship. You know, I started off as a customer of Stone Interiors almost 15 years ago. Well, that relationship grew, and they've been a partner now of The Point since we launched more than 8 years ago. Relationships matter. People matter. Local matters. Stone Interiors is all about being local, all about customer service, and all about building a great relationship with their customers. I'm proud to call the folks over there my friends. That's all well and good. But what about their granite? What about their marble? What about their craftsmanship? I know all about this as their customer. It is elite. They're the best at what they do. They have the largest selection of granite anywhere to choose from. They have the top team to do the installation. So if you've been considering new countertops, a kitchen backsplash, that bathroom remodel, or even an amazing outdoor kitchen, treat yourself right. Call Stone Interiors. Nobody does it better. You'll brag about them the same way I do. Check out their website, stoneinteriors.com, or give them a call, 461-8950. That's 461-8950. Remember, relationships matter. I know you'll enjoy working with Stone Interiors.
Have you fallen behind on your taxes and might be facing IRS penalties? Have wage garnishments, levies, or liens? Have unfiled tax returns? You want someone local and qualified. Don't fall for those national spots. Meet with me, Teresa, at Capital City Professional Services, and let me help you through your tax maze. I can help with all your tax resolution issues. There are options to get you back on track. Call Capital City Professional Services, 400-8683. That's 400-8683.
And paid for by Complete Car Care.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to the COVID crisis, we are announcing a low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay nothing for auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay nothing for auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-549-1985 now. Drivers who are covered by this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair bill again. This auto coverage is at an all-time low, much lower than what dealerships are charging. A Additionally, drivers who activate this auto coverage today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and free rental car at no additional cost. Call for your free quick quote today. 800-549-1985. 800-549-1985. What do you have to lose? Again, 800-549-1985.
Continue with the high school football scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Phil Kornblues, Pat Daniel, and David Shelton on this Friday night. Beautiful night for high school football. Was it chilly out there, David? Now we'll get David in a second. Sorry. Pat's in the process of reconnecting with Coach Holmes, and then we'll bring David back in. David was in the press box, probably had a heater going, probably had a couple of hot dogs in his hands, and he was very comfortable. Nothing to be concerned about there. As it felt like football temperature out there, I would imagine when I went out after sports talk, it was a little chilly. So that's good. It's the way it's supposed to be this time of the year. It's going to be that way tomorrow for college football around the state. And next week, it's supposed to be about the same. Maybe a little warming trend, I think, towards the end of next week. Anyway, David is with us. And also we welcome back Adam Holmes from Gray Collegiate, winner tonight over Abbeville in the 2A Upper State semifinals, 31-15. So, Coach, thank you for rejoining us for a couple of minutes. David had asked you a question about facing Phil Strickland from Newberry next week. Your thoughts on that?
Well, those guys are always do a great job. We always said that our region 3 2A is the toughest region in 2A. Us and Newberry and Saluda and Batesburg, and you got two region teams playing each other again. So, Coach Strickland and Newberry does an amazing job. We played pretty well last time we played them, but again, it seems like those guys are rolling now, and you build off of momentum, and playoffs are all about momentum. So, I know those guys are excited and jacked, and want to do everything they can to kind of send Coach Strickland out on top. So, I know we're gonna have our hands full next Friday night.
What do you think is will be the key elements in that game next week? I mean, you feel like they defensively are going to kind of stack everything up to stop your run and stop Adams, or how do you think they'll play it?
Well, last time they tried to do that as well, and I think Casey still rushed for 300 yards, but we hit some shots on them. We threw the football pretty well. Special teams played a part. We gave up a punt return for a touchdown. So, just making sure we've got all those phases covered. Playing an upper state title game, anything can happen. You're a game away from playing for a state title. So you just got to make sure you got all your T's crossed and your I's dotted.
You guys will be going back out to Fairfield Central next week?
Yeah, we are. And like I said, I really want to thank Demetrius Davis, head coach out there, Coach Roach, the AD, their principal, Ms. Swilly, the superintendent, Dr. Green, for helping us out and taking care of us. They do an amazing job. They got a first-class facility up there, and just excited that we'll be able to play there again.
That's what it's all about. They're not playing. Why not help out somebody in the neighborhood?
Yeah, and like I said, just good people. I've known Demetrius from back when he was a GA at South Carolina when I was playing, and he went on with Coach Pugh to South Carolina State and always, hung out with him, and he does an amazing job out there with those guys. So, again, just appreciate the help from Fairfield Central for help putting this thing together.
Coach, congratulations. You beat one of the great programs in the state. They don't go down easily, so your guys deserve a lot of credit.
Well, I appreciate it, Phil. And like I said, our guys have just been working extremely hard. And this has been a process for over 8 years. We've taken a step every single year from winning a playoff game to second round, third round, upper state. And beating a team like Abbeville, like I said, the pedigree that they have, is just a statement win for us. But, now we got to set our eyes on Newberry because I know they're going to come ready next Friday.
That's going to be a heck of a ball game. Coach, thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Great practice on Thanksgiving. And we'll talk to you again soon.
Well, thank you, Phil. Appreciate all y'all do for high school sports.
Thank you, sir. Adam Holmes at Gray Collegiate, David. Okay, there you go. Gray Collegiate, Newberry next week. Upper State 2A. What do you think about the matchup?
Well, I mean, I don't want to jinx anything, but I would be very, very surprised if Great Collegiate did not win next week. I kind of right now I'm kind of looking at a Silver Bluff Great Collegiate state championship game in a couple of weeks, and I mean, great. You know, Abbeville hurt themselves with two key fumbles in the red zone. One, I think, around the 5-yard line. I mean, they put those two scores in. That game's anybody's game, but they didn't. And Great Collegiate caused those turnovers, and then KZ had a pick later on. But they just continue to offensively. They just roll up. I mean, KZ Adams has been unbelievable this year as a running back, receiver, defensive back. That's why I said I thought he should be Mr. Football.
Yeah, he is having a fantastic year. Hang on one second, David. I'm trying to send something over here to Pat. Let's talk about the 1As real quick because those were not close games, and you were at one of them. You saw Bamberg Earhart beat Baptist Hill 33-6. C.E. Murray shut out Well Branch 47-0 in the lower state. Upper state, Lamar 36-16 over Ridge Spring Monetta, and Southside Christian 28-6 over Calhoun County. So what'd you take from these 4 games?
In the 1A?
Yes.
Yes. Well, you know, the game that I was at, you know, Bamberg Earhart, I mean, they just pounded the football. They got 3 backs, Bias, and what's those guys' names? I got them right here. Hang on. Nick Folk, Quincy Bias, and Quentin Banks. And they just rotate them in. They each get pretty much equal amount of carries, and they rush for 300 yards. But I thought Baptist Hill would have a shot because of their passing attack. And Bamberg Earhart's defensive front, they swallowed that quarterback all night long. I mean, he did hit a big pass, a 66-yard pass, but that was it. And I tell you, them and C. Murray that's going to be a really good football game. And Bamberg, by winning tonight, they get to host that game. So, you know, that's going to be a pretty good football game. And in the upper state, I've been saying it since August, since our first show. I thought Southside Christian was the team to beat. I thought if anybody could, maybe Lamar, and now we're going to find out if Lamar is good enough to beat him because they had a really impressive win tonight. Beating Ridge Spring Monetta was a really good win for Lamar.
All right, let's go to the break, and then on the other side, we're going to try and hook up with Dan Jones from Gaffney or Mark Hodge from Spartanburg. If we can make that happen, we'll bring those guys on to talk about their 2 wins tonight and their big matchup next week in the upper state. So stay tuned for that and more from David Shelton. We bring you our final minutes tonight on this Friday night edition of the High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Back in just a moment.
Hi, I'm State Treasurer Curtis Loftus, and I've got a great gift idea that requires zero shopping, the gift of college savings. Future Scholar, South Carolina's 529 college savings plan makes it easy. Grandparents, friends, and family can all contribute to a Future Scholar account and know that they're providing a gift that will last a lifetime. If you're looking for the perfect gift this holiday season, look no further. Learn more about the smart, easy way to save and give this holiday season at futurescholar.com.
Hi, this is Phil Kornblut, and for me, high school football Friday nights in the Palmetto State are electric. I want to know how all the teams in the state are doing. For that, I turn to scfootballstats.com. I've used scfootballstats.com for years as a resource, so I have all the scores and schedules right at my fingertips. And so can you. Never hunt for scores, standings, or rankings again. scfootballstats.com delivers weekly updates right to your inbox. Everything from your favorite teams, including Skeeza, all in one place. Fan subscriptions are just $25 for a full season of access. Head over to scfootballstats.com right now for a free trial. That's scfootballstats.com.
Save like a pro with Founders Federal Credit Union. Founders Loyalty Select account gives you the opportunity to grow your savings at our best rate yet. Fund your account through your favorite Loyalty Select product to get savings today. Not a member yet? Visit relaxjoinfounders.com or one of our more than 30 office locations to see if you qualify for membership. Services require credit evaluation. Terms and conditions apply. Founders Federal Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA.
The Southeastern Institute of Manufacturing and Technology, known as SIMT, is ready to meet your 3D printing, machining, and social media listening needs. Our list of clients includes business and industrial partners from around the state, the nation, and the globe. In addition, we are providing social media listening services to a variety of businesses and educational institutions, from large companies to law firms to small rural school districts. The SIMT also rents space for training, conferences, and trade shows. Catering services are available for events being held at the SIMT. We are dedicated to customer service and look forward to serving you. Check us out on the web at simt.com to see a full list of our manufacturing services, or give us a call at 843-413-2740.
We're back on the high school scoreboard. Phil Kornblut and Pat Daniel here in Columbia. David Shelton joining us from the Low Country. Let's welcome in Gaffney head coach Dan Jones. What a win for his team tonight. I hope his heart has slowed down a little bit. 16-13 in overtime. I was just catching up on what exactly happened. Northwestern scored with a field goal in overtime to go up 13-10, and the Indians on their possession
scored.
They score.
For the touchdown, yep.
Touchdown.
From defensive battle.
From the 1 yard line. But you scored. I'm reading some tweets here. You scored,
yeah,
but it was called back.
Right. We scored on our first play, called back on the holding, but the holding was in the end zone, so it went back to the 10. So basically had a first and goal from the 10 to same as we started with, but 2 plays there in our heavy package, and we were in the end zone and brought a victory back to Gaffney.
Did you have any doubt when you were facing from the 10-yard line that you could use your heavy package and knock it in?
Well, we struggled the whole game. It was a defensive battle. We had been down there one time before, and they held us to a field goal, and then they ended up having a miscue in the kicking game, and we got the ball in the red zone and got 7 there to tie it up, and fortunate won the toss, made them go offense first, and held them and made them kick a field goal, and then we were able to go and get it in.
David Shelton's with us. David, you got a question for the coach? Oh, well, we'll have David in just a second. Hang on, Coach. We'll have David in just a second.
Okay.
What was the feeling after the ball game? Besides the relief and the joy of the victory, though, what did you and your guys kind of talk about afterwards?
Well, we just talked about needing some a psychologist. You know, the kids were up and down. You just got to keep playing till the game's over. But you know, they're teenagers, and we've had some battles this year and been down 14 before and come back. So, kids been pretty resilient all year long, and I don't know. They doubt themselves a little bit, I believe.
Mm-hmm. So you get Spartanburg next week, and I mean, I got to be honest with you. I kind of jumped up and down when I saw the results because everybody dreams. If you follow high school football in this state, I mean, that's one of the dream matchups at this time of the year. It's traditional. It's classic. It's big on big, and it doesn't get any bigger unless you play in the state championship, which maybe, you know, you could do that back when they were cross-bracketing, but not now.
Yeah. Well, you know, certainly that's the way our season started. We started out playing Spartanburg. Now we're going to end it that way. But, you know, certainly our kids are excited about playing on Thanksgiving or practicing on Thanksgiving, and that's what our goal was early on in the season, and they've accomplished it, and it's great, high school football for kids to be a part of something like that.
You got David with us now. David, go ahead with Coach Jones.
Yeah, Coach, I was just wondering. You mentioned the adversity tonight and the up and down and their teenage kids, but your schedule had to have helped late in the second half or in overtime because you've just been in some really tight games with some really good teams, and Northwestern is a really good team. How much do you think that schedule does help?
Oh, I think it's tremendous. Our kids don't get to take a break, and they understand that you got to play, and you got to play well, or you're going to go home not very happy. So, and you get put in different situations, and I always tell them before the game that there's going to be highs and lows. You got to handle them both. So, and we definitely had some tonight.
Follow up, David?
Okay.
No, I'm good.
All right. Coach, I'm looking a little video. This game was played at Northwestern. It looks like the place is absolutely packed, at least on their side. I imagine it was packed all over. And that's what it's about in high school football in South Carolina. And you guys in the upstate, the passion up there and the people support it so big. You had to just love seeing that crowd there, considering, what you've gone through across the state the last 2 years.
Oh, no doubt. That's something great for the kids and get the experience. And it's like I told them, those guys were in the stands when they were in middle school and elementary school, and now it's their turn. And, don't let it pass you by because it'll be gone in a hurry. And you better enjoy it and take advantage of it.
How many tickets could y'all sell to that game next week?
I'm pretty sure that that Gaffney side will be full. That's for sure. Whatever Spartanburg holds on that side, it'll be full.
Okay. That's going to be a great one. Congratulations, as always. Thank you for joining us. Good luck next week.
Thank you, guys.
Talk to you again soon. Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Take care. Yeah, David, I think that might be the understatement of the night. The Gaffney side, no matter how much they hold over there, it'll be full.
Well, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go buy 4 tickets right tomorrow, and then I'm going to sit outside the stadium, and I'm going to pay my rent, my car payment, and my electric bill with 4 Gaffney football tickets.
Yeah, I think you could.
I'd be scalping those things like crazy. I'm not promoting that. I'm not saying someone should do that. But I'm telling you, if Gaffney has a chance to play for a state title, everybody in Gaffney is going to be there.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't know what Spartanburg's gathering will be like. I'm assuming it'll be pretty packed, but there's going to be 8,000 to 10,000 people there, I would guess.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to run through the scores a final time, and David, while we do that, we're going to try and get Coach Hodge on real quick before we end the program. So once again, in the 5A playoffs tonight, Upper State, Spartanburg 32, Ridgeview 29, Gaffney 16, Northwestern 13. In the Lower State, Dutch Fork 49, Sumter 21, Fort Dorchester 30, Lexington 8. In the 4A playoffs, in the Upper States, Greenville 42, Irmo 23, South Point 30, Greenwood 20, Lower State, Beaufort 20, Myrtle Beach 19, West Florence 31, Hartsville 21, 3A Upper State, Chester 35, Powdersville 18, Daniel 52, Clinton 7, Lower State, Camden 27, BC 24, Dillon 35, Oceanside Collegiate 10, 2A, Gray Collegiate 31, Abbeville 15, Newberry 26, Christchurch 24, Silver Bluff 56, Cheraw 14, Barnwell 42, Philip Simmons 27, and in 1A, Southside Christian 28, Calhoun County 6, Lamar 36, Ridge Spring Winetta 16, C.E. Murray 47, Well Branch nothing, Bamberg Earhart 33, Baptist Hill 6, and Skeeza Championships 3A, Hammond 48, Trinity Collegiate 15, 8-man, Holly Hill Academy 28, Andrew Jackson Academy 24. We have Coach Hodge. Oh, great. All right, David, we have Coach Mark Hodge from Spartanburg. Yeah, we thought about maybe conferencing Coach Jones and Coach Hodge, but then we thought, maybe not. Maybe it'd be better talking separately. So it's great to have both of them with us. We had Coach Jones a moment ago, now Coach Hodge from Spartanburg, and congratulations to you. And what a job you and your staff did this year to bring this team along and get you where you are now.
Oh, we've been blessed, man. God's put together a great group of coaches, the support staff, and kids all at the same time. And it's just unbelievable that this is what we get to do. Well, I tell you, tell us first of all about, I haven't read the tales of your ball game, so how did you defeat Ridgeview tonight, 32-29? Did it come right down to the end, some kind of a field goal or something? Oh, no, it came down to having to make a stop, honestly. The Ridgeview did a fantastic job. I mean, you got to give them lots of credit. They played really hard. They really kind of physically whipped us up front on their defensive side of the ball, hammered us, and so kind of like we were playing in a mist. It was kind of a surreal night. I really think our kids overcared. Honestly, I think they have worked so hard to become who they are that they didn't want to lose. And I was just telling my wife that this game you've got to be able to play free, and I didn't think that we did, especially early. Mm-hmm. But went back and forth, and we had a lead at halftime, and they took the opening drive, and they went for it on 4th and 2 and got it. On about the 50, so it was a big call by them, and then they took the lead, and then we fumbled, and then finally our defense kind of showed up. I didn't think we had played like with the passion and intensity that I wanted us to, but we fumbled on our 30 and we held them, and then we went for it on 4th down at the 50 and didn't get it, and then our defense held them again, and then we took the lead, and then they took the lead, and then I thought we settled in a little bit, made some better decisions, and Raheem did a good job extending some plays, and Quaymore made some great plays. And then we checked down. We're trying to actually run a deep post pattern, and Raheem checked down to our running back, and Greek Carter just wheeled himself in the end zone from about 25 out. And then they get the ball back with about 4 minutes to go and get it down to, I think, 2nd down on about the 15-yard line, and maybe it was a holding penalty, and then it kind of went to the blur right there. But then we had a big sack, which led to a intentional grounding. And so the game basically ended with about 4th and 40, us up 3, and they, just went to one of those throw it and pitch it and toss it around plays. And fortunately, we was able to get them down and run the clock out. Wow. David, we've got about 2.5 minutes. Got a question for the coach.
Yeah, you played Gaffney. Was it the season opener that you played Gaffney?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. What type of game was that, and how much have y'all improved since that game? I know you started out kind of slow, but you've really played great football down the stretch.
Yeah, we've been hit with a bunch of injuries this year, and our kids have just persevered and continued to play. And the first game we were without our quarterback. Raheem got hurt in a scrimmage, and he was out, so we didn't play. And we played really well, especially defensively. It was 17-12, 17-something, and 13, I don't know exactly, with about 6 minutes to go in the game. And Gaffney blocked about every kick we tried that night. And, and they do what they do. They play great defense, ran the ball well, and they won that last 6 minutes pretty handily. And but we've improved a lot, and hopefully we'll have as many healthy players as possible, and I know they have too. Coach Jones is phenomenal at what he does. He's got a great staff. It's a football town. He knows how to win. Their coach unreal, and we could have had a lot of fun doing a joint phone call a while ago, but we respect those guys well. We'd probably start talking about fishing before it was over with, but. You talking Spartanburg Gaffney for a chance to play for a state championship. So I mean that's what this part of the state, thinks of when you think of great football. So we're just blessed to be able to be here.
Yeah, it doesn't get any bigger. You know what? Maybe we'll do that on Sports Talk during the week if we can line you two guys up.
Sure, it'd be great. Now Dan's a great guy, man. I really appreciate him, and he's always been very supportive of us. And, we go at it, and we like to play the game and compete, but in the end, we care about kids and care about each other, and I think both programs try to do it the right way.
Hey, congratulations. Enjoy your weekend, your week of practice next week, and we will check into that next week with you.
It sounds great. We appreciate you guys. Hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving, and God bless, and go Vikings.
Thank you so much, sir. David, thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you. Thanks to everybody who joined us tonight, and thanks for listening. Have a great weekend.
The only afternoon local talk radio in Columbia is the Afternoon Drive with Kev. It's all about you. It's your phone calls. It's my challenging topics. All the news, traffic, and weather weekdays, 4 p.m. on